Welcome, 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 dear folks, to season 6 of our On the Call series produced by the Stars Among Us. I'm Ozzy, and I am very, very happy that you've tuned in to this thank you tour of mine, as each episode, as you know, is a thank you card to those who have impacted my life. This season is a memoriam of those 5 wonderful souls who have transcended last year between August and November. This is a celebration of their lives, as well as a balm to the souls of those who have known them. Today we begin with Glenn Miller, whose name alone brings back memories of the musician by the same name. But it's a different Glenn Miller that I'm shining light on. I was introduced to him at one of his legendary parties where he often brought people from all walks of life together. What I saw was a man who enjoyed making people happy through food, drink, music, and great conversations. It made him happy to provide guests with his and their favorite dishes and thoroughly enjoyed receiving their responses. It felt uncanny, but it often seemed as though he could feel and see their joy, though sightless. At the time, I was traveling overseas on a regular basis to help with the caregiving of my mother, who was suffering through dementia. It was a couple of years later when I divulged to Glenn the dilemma I was having for months in taking care of my son after returning to New York with him. Glenn immediately gave me a contact to reach out to for help, which alleviated the matter at once. From that time forward, Glenn took me under his wing, pushing me to get involved in the community, inviting me into his parties and events. He was a hoot. Glenn Miller was born in Georgetown, Guyana in South America. He was educated at Christ Church Secondary School and attended Queens College in his homeland, and shortly thereafter came to the US in search of a life that he had dreamed of, open to making a way for himself come hell or high water. For Glenn, nothing was out of reach, and it was not a surprise that he later became an assistant VP at Manufacturers Hanover Trust under Mr. Angelo Elllerbee, the president and CEO of Double XXposure Media Relations. Due to his ability to execute projects, his ever-present energy, quick and astute thinking, eloquent speech, and brilliant writing, Glenn grew quickly as a publicist within the company, hobnobbing with celebrities such as Dionne Warwick, Mary J. Blige, Alicia Keys, DMX, and more, often engaging them with his wit and humor. He left the company having become a vice president of operations after 7.5 years. To his credit, Glenn was the innovator at Funk Night at Cafe Noir, the legendary music club in Greenwich Village that was frequented by Chaka Khan, Nona Hendrix, and others, as well as he was the creator of the famous open mic showcase at the Village Underground, where the likes of Mariah Carey, Ashford Simpson, Stephanie Mills, and other artists frequented. 2 of his corporate clients included the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation and the Goodwill Games. Glenn also started his own company named Coup de Grace, but this one was spelled Kude, when his eyesight started to decline. However, he was clear and determined that he would continue his work. But unfortunately, due to complications of meningitis, he lost his sight, becoming visually disabled in September 2001. As the years progressed, Glenn turned to singing, performing poetry, and doing voiceovers for EPKs, always seeking to stay in the mix, to live his life as fully as possible. Glenn loved keeping busy, always thinking about what to do next and who might need his help. He would often record prolific and provocative outgoing messages on his answering service. He had taken a stand to help the underserved, downtrodden, and those who were looked down upon despite his own challenges, the most significant being that he needed assistance because of his loss of sight. However, to him, that only seemed a minor inconvenience, and he didn't slow down. Glenn was a playful, thoughtful, honest, giving, inspiring, gay black blind man who ironically saw more than those who could see. He loved living life and bringing people together, taking immense pleasure in their joy. His former boss, Mr. Elllerbee, described him as phenomenal, a diamond among gems whose contributions were worldly. Glenn Miller passed on August 15, 2021, although his legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those he touched. I thank you very much, and I really, really appreciate you spending your valuable time with us today. Reach out to those who are alive. One never knows what's going on in other people's lives, and especially in this day that we're living. So please care to share. Remember, as I always say, when you're on your beat, stay on the sunny side of the street safely. Be health conscious and kind to one another, giving thanks to one another for the little and big gifts. See you next time.
Hey there. Please help us in our mission to support those facing fatal diseases through our t-shirt sales by donating or shopping at aussiestewart.com or supporting us at anchor.fm/AussieStewart. That's ANCHOR.FM/AussieStewart. And don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Aussie Stewart. Yep. Leave a comment.